Hey, welcome back to the Blue Collar Off-Road Podcast, episode 66. We got a guest today. We got Kyle Rayden from Michigan. So I know you've got a cool Jeep. I know you're friends with Curtis, which may be a bad thing, maybe a good thing. I don't know. Uh,
Never a good thing.
I guess yeah. Um, and I think you're the Waltz Crawlers guy too, right?
Oh, we're a group.
Okay, it's a group.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
Tell us about the group.
yep. Tell us about the group
all right,
first.
we're just gonna go straight there. I don't want to hear about the Jeep.
No, let's hear about him. Let's hear about him in the Jeep first. I was just kidding.
Where are we starting?
Wherever you want, man. Tell us a
Oh,
little about yourself. What's your shoe size? Your social security number, height, maybe a little bit of everything.
We'll stick with the Jeep.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
it's been together-ish. I mean, mostly just apart, but for like 3.5 years, just changing things. '05 plus 60 front, Sterling 10.5 rear, leaf in the rear, still coil spring up front for now. Uh, 3-link, hybrid cage, and working on a turbo.
Hell yeah.
So kind of like your cookie cutter Club XJ build.
Pretty
you know.
much. It's really nothing
That's what we like to
that
see.
special.
Well, my question is, what made you go with the turbo?
Well, he's
I
he
got
hasn't-
bored.
Yeah, he's not there yet. I don't think that's done. He just said. So,
Working on getting the computer to work right.
and
Oh, yeah.
is that a custom computer? Or are you doing like a Holly, or are you just like making the factory shit work?
HP tuners on stock PCM is what we're going for.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And
I think
sorry, go ahead.
I think standalone's in the future, but trying to make this work for now.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's gonna
fucking
be
cool. And
interesting.
so we've done a little bit of research, or personally I've done a little bit of research with it, and we also spoke with they're gonna kill me because I'm forgetting them. The
Gruesome
Gruesome
Twosome.
Twosome. There we go. They did a turbo kit as well, but like other than that, I haven't really done much research. Now, what can you expect to get for boost from a 4 liter with a turbo? Like what?
Seems most people do all right in the 12 PSI range. A lot of people
Okay.
seem to blow things up around 15. I don't have any way to cool intake temps quite yet, so probably gonna keep it pretty low for now until I
Methanol.
do meth or some kind
Yeah.
of intercooler.
Yeah. Methanol is the way to go. Hell yeah.
I don't know
That's
where would you put an intercooler though, right? I think the Gruesome Twosome guys stretched the front either for tube work or to fit the intercooler. I don't remember.
a bit of both, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
I mean, you could just do it like a Subaru style where it's like the over the motor and then having like a cowl induction for it. I don't know. I don't know if that would work, but it could possibly work, right?
I don't know
Could,
if you can
yeah.
do airflow, but I don't know.
Yeah, and the only other thing I'm thinking with that is that 4 liters are notorious for being heat sinks, so
Yeah, but if you run off like E85, I think that would help you a shit ton for going with the turbo swap.
85 is a pain with the stock computer because you'd have to adjust all the fuel maps every time and test the E85.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't really do a flex fuel sensor on it, and also not very available most places. That any of us would wheel.
I mean, shit, that's a really good way of looking at it, honestly.
yeah, I mean, like even out here, if I start going out into the boondocks, I'm lucky to see 91.
Oh
So
God. What you guys got like 67 octane out there? Like how bad is it?
we have some 85 in a couple spots, but mostly it's 87 and 89.
Wow. Okay, good to
Uh,
know. Don't build cool cars down in Tennessee. Got it.
No, it's not
Get
like
cool fuel.
anywhere near the city. It's when you start going out into like the center of the state where there's absolutely nothing, just farms.
Oh.
So if you're near the highways, you're good. If you're getting into like the back country, you're not good.
But what
But,
I'm hearing is just buy the race gas off Amazon, shipped right to your door. Duh.
Oh my god.
I couldn't even imagine the shipping cost.
Can you actually? Is that a thing?
Amazon Prime, dude. No shipping cost.
I'm actually going to go online and look right
Oh
now.
my god, if that's a
What?
legitimate thing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but please.
Oh my
I hope
God.
that's not a thing.
That would be hilarious, especially if it's like RC car size bottles, you know, like a quart.
And then just buy a shit ton of those, fill the tank. Be like, may have taken me 6 hours to fuel up, but we're good. Oh shit. So, what got you into wheeling? Like, I mean, everybody kind of has their own story with. Wait,
I
why?
had more
What?
questions about the turbo. We're like already glossing over a good 15 minutes conversation.
All right.
Yeah, but we
spoiler
already
alert.
glossed over an hour and a half of it, him introducing himself.
Hold on. You can actually get gas on Amazon.
What the
Fucking
fuck?
Christ.
How much does it cost? Is it cheaper
So-
than $3.30 a gallon?
No.
Oh no.
All right, so a 5-gallon can of Klotz high octane race fuel.
Is it like
What is
110?
this?
Is it what's the
118 octane.
Whoo, that's some good stuff right there. Oh,
$117.
That'll make
That's
the
actually-
bill burn.
that's not bad. That's just a little over $20 a gallon. That's not horrible.
And
It's actually really not
even it's not the only one.
Wow.
Amazing.
So, Kyle, we have an option. We have so
That'll make for some expensive trips.
you're right, but
Well, hey, if you're looking for a bargain, you can get what is this? A 16 fluid ounce concentrate that can make 105 to like 110 octane for $21.
Is it just
wow,
powdered gas?
I
No clue.
don't know. It's raised fuel
Just add
concentrate
water.
or whatever the fuck that is.
What do you mix it with?
so usually
Gas.
chances are what it is. So I know a lot of race teams, especially with dirt bikes and
You
stuff
mix
like
it
that.
with water.
No, God, shut up. You mix it with like 100 octane fuel or like aviation, like 100 octane. But a lot of race teams will use additives like that to try to hide the mixture that they're using for the race fuel. So that's probably one of those things that's an additive to change the smell, change the actual like burn style of it. So, yeah.
So,
What?
back to the Jeep.
Yeah.
What turbo size are you running? How's it ran? Are you using one of those BoostWorks cast or TIG manifolds? Like, what's going on with that setup? I mean, we talked about how you're trying to control it, but we haven't actually talked about the turbo.
Yeah, it's Cummins turbo. It's about 56 millimeters. It's a 12 centimeter exhaust housing. It's a WH1C with the wastegate stuff all removed with a different exhaust housing. I'm using a BoostWorks cast manifold, which packaging in the Cherokee just leaves a lot to be desired. They did what they could, and it's a great manifold, and it's awesome to have a cast option like that. It doesn't fit well,
Oh boy.
especially when
So-
you packed things up.
So, would it fit better if it had like a smaller, say, eBay style T3, T4 with like a 58 size housing?
I'm sure it fit a
Uh,
little bit better. I haven't seen one of those in a Cherokee. I
Wait a
ended up remaking the whole driver's side motor mount, pretty much.
Holy shit.
It's that far in the way. Jeez. I guess it is
Well,
pretty close to the motor mount.
I was gonna say, you also have to realize like a Cummins sized turbo is not a small turbo.
No.
And it's not a fuck, what's the term when the intake or the exhaust manifold goes up topside. It's not a topside turbo either. It's a bottom side turbo kit, correct?
We're
So-
on top.
No, but like in your typical like 2JZ RB25, SR24, 22RE setup, it's a topside turbo, so it goes out and up So that way, or like even with your LSs, they're topside turbos. With a 4 liter, they are not because yes, obviously you have the intake there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm saying in a typical
I know,
sense
I
of
know,
like
I
something like that. So,
The
um,
4-inch inlet really creates a lot of issues.
Yeah, I think that what is it? The eBay special ones are a 2.5 inlet on um the smaller housing turbos.
Sounds about right.
mhm.
Would make it a
Yeah.
lot easier to snake something up.
And are you concerned about being able to spool it? Like for me, I just kind of spitballing because again, don't really know too much about turbos, so just kind of going out there. But a like a common rail or a 20 or 24 valve Cummins is a 5.9 liter, correct?
Yeah.
Are you nervous that with a 6 liter that you won't have enough pressure to actually spool it at all, or
4-liter?
is it not a
Cylinder.
4 liter?
It's a
Is it
six
not a?
cylinder. You said
You said
6.0.
Oh, really?
You're fine.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Though. You said 6
Oh,
liter.
Jesus Christ! My apologies. So with a 4 liter, that's why I was so confused. I'm like, what the fuck are you
Well,
guys
we've been
talking
talking
about?
to
Like,
guys who only have it's just all LS Cherokees like for the past 3 podcast or no,
Oh, don't
there's a
insult
Wrangler in
Dwight
there.
like that.
I know, sorry.
anyways, are you nervous or have you like? What can you tell me about putting it onto the 4 liter? Like, what are you thinking?
I'm not really sure. The turbo kind of fell in my lap. I think that it sounds like it'll probably spool all right,
Mhm.
but it might come on real strong.
Oh,
Maybe more than I want it to.
that'd be really
So,
exciting. And just be
There's
like,
really no way to know
nothing,
until
nothing,
somebody.
nothing, and then boom, he's just hitting.
Yeah, we'll see what 300 parts want to blow up.
All right.
Oh boy.
Now, for your exhaust, did you run into clearance issues?
Not really. Once I got a V-band exhaust housing on it, it shortened it up quite a bit. I just massaged the firewall a little bit. It really
Makes
wasn't
sense.
too much.
Your feet are gonna be fucking toasty.
Hopefully.
You're only saying that right now because it's fucking like what, -30 in Michigan?
Minus
It's like
30.
30-ish.
Oh, see, it's normal temperatures. Minus 30 would be insane. That's like Upper
Fucking
Peninsula.
balls, they're in like the north.
No, they're not. They're pretty much equal with us. What do you mean?
I don't know. I look up and I see Michigan. I have to like go through Ohio to get to Michigan.
You're too
You
funny.
know. So they're like the north. You guys are also like the north. I mean, you're all weird. Fucking.
You've been in the North your whole life. Get out of here, mister. All of a sudden, you're not a Yankee no more. What the fuck you mean?
Oh no. I'm a damn Yankee because I moved down here. I get reminded every fucking day.
But that'll be pretty exciting. I'm sure that thing's gonna absolutely haul. And if it doesn't, it's just gonna sound fucking cool. So it's a win-win no matter what. I think at least.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I didn't an 0630 head that I had rebuilt just because I didn't trust the 0331.
Mm-hmm.
RP head studs, MLS gasket. See what a 198,000 mile engine will take.
So you just
Uh,
did gasket and studs? You haven't nothing else?
Didn't seem like it deserved that.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
190,000.
Appreciate the spirit.
Honestly, though, if I were to do it, I'd probably go the same route. I would just, try to do the minimal stuff to keep my engine going and then put something aside, like build something on the sides. That way, hey, if it works, if this turbo works and I like it, well, then this motor can get built and
Build
get
something
slapped
on the
in.
side. It's a 4
That's
Yeah.
exactly my plan.
Well, yeah, you want to do valve springs. You want to make it so it can rev a little higher. You want to build the bottom end a little bit so that way it can liven up. Maybe a little different cam because you're just not getting enough intake or exhaust stroke. I mean, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you build up
I'm not
another motor
saying-
to?
Yeah, I mean that's the right thing to do, but people with 4.0s don't generally do that. At least in my experience, they just go get another one with 150,000 miles and slap it in.
250,000.
Yeah, unless you're Luke, and then you just get the oldest fucking one you could find, and wonder why you blowed up 6 of them.
Hey man, I could break a steel ball in a rubber room.
Yeah, it's because you'd shove it in your ass or something. Just fucking squeeze it real tight.
Hey, at least I can do that. I'm not the one that's getting pegged out.
Wow.
You open yourself up for this every time.
I don't open myself up for any of the pegging, okay? It's never wanted.
Oh,
You want a bit more force?
Right?
Exactly. Moving on.
No,
All right.
Yeah.
So we can come back to the turbo talk, but seems like we've kind of full covered it. I think it's gonna work really good. I think it'd be really cool, regardless of if it blows up, if you send a rod to God, or if you just have a good time with it. No matter what, I think you can't lose. Just hopefully a rod doesn't shoot out and like impale a friend or something. Then that would kind of put a dampening on the day.
I do have to say, and this isn't a dig, but it would be hilarious if a rod left the block and hit the turbo.
Why,
No.
Oh, that would suck.
That would really suck.
The placement, and number 5 likes to go. That, for some reason, has been my most blown up cylinder, is number 5. So if any rod's gonna go to God, it's gonna be 5.
Fair.
debatable.
That's fair.
Alright.
Oh, sorry.
So, is there any more turbo questions here?
No, I was just gonna ask him about himself. You know why? I don't know I'm not talking to the Jeep right now. I'm talking to motherfucking Kyle. I want to know who the fuck Kyle is. Is that okay, Graham?
Yeah, that is. Let's go.
Hit us with it, Kyle. Who the fuck are you? Are you a cop?
No, I'm an engineer at GM.
Ooh.
I've had my Cherokee for a little over 5 years now. But basically stock didn't really. I had some buddies that were into it and kind of sucked me in a little bit, and then sucked me in a lot. Got a little
Was
too
it
bored
your-
a few too many times.
Was it your first Jeep?
Yeah, it's the only thing I've owned that has 4-wheel drive.
Wow. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's impressive that it's your only 4-wheel drive. I assume you have other vehicles, right? You got a tow rig, I assume.
Yeah, I only have a tow rig right now.
2-wheel drive.
Is that 4-wheel drive?
No.
No, that's why the
Should hold
Cherokee
it out
is
from the
only
end of my
4-wheel.
road.
So I'm guessing you don't own any Chevy or GM products because you work there and you understand that they all suck, correct?
Do not own any of them, but I don't think that a Cummins is much better.
Can confirm.
So what,
Alright,
are you
so that
saying
leaves
you're a
4.
Ford guy?
Or a Toyota. He could be a Toyota guy.
Yeah, tons.
Maybe.
I really doubt
Nissan?
he's
I
towing.
don't really
with
know.
a,
I only own Chrysler products, but
So what's your tow
the
rig?
biggest fan.
Christ.
It's a 3rd-gen Cummins.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Anything fun done with that?
I bought it with big injectors, and it needs a turbo, so that
Excellent.
it has enough for those injectors.
Excellent.
So that's why
bought that.
Yeah, never mind. I was gonna make a joke. It's fine. I assume the turbo on the Jeep is a totally different. It's a
totally different
it's not the
turbo.
same turbo.
It's from 90s.
yeah.
Then again, that is a whole new level of commitment that I could commend. You NA the Cummins so that way your XJ can get a turbo. I could get behind that. That's fucking cool.
That's commitment.
Like, it's just for testing. It's gonna go back, right? Right? That's hilarious. I love
This
that.
hurts. This hurts a lot. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
so now with something that happened with me that like, so you got into it with your friends, right?
Yeah.
And did you notice that your friends liked it but weren't as serious as you wanted to be? So then you kind of branched out, or what did you experience with that? Because that's something that I definitely noticed for me.
One of them has been pretty much at the same pace with wheeling stuff. I mean, I caught up quick and then kind of been at the same age until he parted his shit out not too long ago.
Is he getting back into it or is he done?
He's looking for a house, kind of waiting on that.
Oh, you like probably likes kids and shit too, huh? Not in a weird way, like as like he wants to have kids. Sorry, not in that way. Sorry to your friend.
But most of the other people kind of dropped off or just weren't into the same kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up meeting people like Curtis, which is, negative.
R.I.P. Yeah, don't like that guy.
And it all went downhill from there.
Why did we let him into the group chat? I gotta ask that question.
Wait,
first and
he's in
foremost.
our group chat now?
No, he's
Oh
in
no, the Lonely Boys. Lonely Boys, yeah. I don't know how that one worked, but I think I invited him actually. He
God
deserves it.
damn it, Cody.
He's a good dude. No matter how much shit we talk about him, I like him. He's a nice guy.
Good enough. Be cooler if he wheeled, but
Way cooler if he wheeled.
Yeah, so tell us about the progression of the Jeep. You bought it when it was stock. You had buddies that were into it. Everyone's probably seen pictures because it's been social media hoarding all over Club XJ, but how did it become that rig?
So I bought it. It was a little rough with all the suspension, so I put on a maybe 3-inch lift and 31s.
So you're good to 40s.
And then I daily drove it for a year, a little over a year. I started to do stiffeners while I was still daily driving it.
Okay.
So was the
And then
unibody still intact when you went to
Yeah.
do them?
Yeah, it was in pretty all right shape, better than most around the Midwest.
That is such a fucking godsend. Like, I did mine before my Jeep ever saw any off-roading whatsoever. Best thing I ever fucking did.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
wish
so
somebody.
great now.
Yeah, I wish
Is
somebody
what it
gave me
is.
that advice. Sorry to cut you off, Kyle. Something just so you know, if somebody starts cutting you off, but you just want to finish a sentence, just commit to it.
yeah. 'cause
Sometimes it
otherwise-
works.
Otherwise, they'll just get eaten alive by
Fair enough.
talking.
But
Terrible.
but you said so now it's not looking too hot.
It has rough spots. It's got more rust than it used to.
That's
And it is what it
character.
is.
Yeah, it's a beater now. Mine's it's interesting, at least from what you've told us so far. The life cycle of your Jeep sounds very similar to mine, right? It's just the progression as far as from fairly clean into just still mine's not rusty really. It's got some rust, but nothing like it's not rotted.
Fix your rear frame rail.
But as the good old GM says, rust is lighter than carbon fiber. So according to your work, you're doing it well. You're doing
It's
great.
true. I mean, rust holes are lighter than carbon fiber.
Exactly. See, now you're getting it. But hell yeah, that's pretty cool.
So I, was doing stiffeners, kind of prepping to do the 1-ton swap, and got axles home in the back of it.
That sucks to do.
Wasn't great.
What axles did you have in there? Was it 14 bolt 60? Oh yeah, you already said 05 plus.
It's,
So that's heavy.
yeah.
That's a lot of shit.
I got them on separate trips.
Okay.
Thank God.
I felt it.
So
had-
luckily at this time you had the lift in those, so the saggy stock leaves were out of it.
Yeah.
Good.
I had a 60 in the back of my Jeep on 35s and 355s, and that thing was fucking slow.
That's funny.
So then I pretty much just started working on the axles, got those mostly ready. Just kept working through stuff until it was drivable on the old tons and 40s.
So you just
Classic.
you just
Always a
did-
good look.
You went straight from 31s to stiffeners, 1 tons, 40s, just right to the, I don't want to say end, but uh, just straight into it.
Right to the starting point, because that's when a rig gets cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
You don't
see
think my
enough
rig's cool?
people.
No.
Sorry, God. You're good.
I see enough people go through, 31s, 33s, 35s, 37s, and I felt like I had the ability to do it, so I just made the jump.
Makes sense. I wish I
That's
didn't do all the
commendable.
stages. I don't regret doing all the stages, but I wish I didn't. I wish I was here. I wish I had done what you'd done, just right off the
See,
bat.
But we
Save a
also
lot of time.
learned from Colin immensely with this, where like sometimes going through the stages, like yeah, it can help the wallet at the time, but in the overall end, you spend almost double to not even get to your final goal, and that can be extremely frustrating for some people too. Like,
Yep.
where like yeah, Curtis spent 4 years or so not being able. Was it 4 years? It was a decent bit of time, whatever. It may have
4
been.
years. No.
No,
I
how
think
long was it? How long?
I think it was a year and a half
Okay, so
from
part of it
the
then.
time of it going on jack stands to him wheeling it caged and dove nosed.
Okay, so then I was
Not
definitely
bad.
way off. And that was not a dig at him. I just genuinely didn't know. But yeah, he might not have been able to wheel for that year and a half, but he probably saved a shit ton of money just by doing it that way. So
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your perspective. Yeah, he may have saved money, but I don't know. I guess he can make most of his parts too. He kind of cheats because he's smart and shit.
yeah, but he still doesn't know how to tighten a fucking bolt, so it doesn't really help him that much. He's the type to like hand tighten it, be like, I'll come back to that later, and then just never come back to it till it's on trail. And he's like,
Ouch.
how the fuck did I snap that one?
So when I did my turn signals, I welded the bottom of my cross member and I just casually threw a wrench on them. Yeah, 2 of them were loose. I felt smart. I get the Curtis Award for Harlan.
Yeah, it's only turn
Curtis
signals,
got
though.
the
I would
Curtis Award for Harlan.
Yeah.
We tightened
Oh,
up
yeah.
every single crossmember bolt. I hate to
At
call them
Harlan?
out. Yeah, we were sitting there at the top of the
Christ.
mountain waiting for Colin to come back, and we were just like, we had nothing to do. We were sitting there, and we just rolled under his Jeep and we're looking at shit, and we tightened all of his bolts and things, and so he could make it down without falling
That's
apart.
amazingly terrible. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't expect much more from Curtis, though.
I do on like a little bit of a small level. There's just a little hope for improvement until he stops making fun of me for not wheeling.
Well, you need to wheel as well.
I do need to wheel, but
Like,
hey,
we
I
make fun
showed
of
up.
Curtis, but really, we should probably be making fun of you.
Hey, I showed up at Harlan for my shakedown run.
Puts coilovers in the rear just to wheel greens.
Hey, I would have done more if the Jeep would have done more.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Anyways,
Gonna stick up for myself a little bit. It was a blown clutch line, ignition problems, and more ignition problems. It wouldn't fucking run.
yeah. So
Um,
did I hear you have a 300 in the thing?
Yeah, it's EcoBox 300.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And do you do any? Because you have an eco box, I have to ask. If you do, does it see any street time, like at all?
Yeah, it sees street time.
Okay, so if you're on the highway, your eco box doesn't pop out of high range into neutral.
Hasn't yet.
Okay, because
I
mine.
don't really go that fast,
Okay, yeah, mine does it. It's not consistent, but ever since I put a bunch of miles on it, it started popping out of gear on me, and it's a pain in the ass because I have to come to a complete stop, and I don't know if it's the shift collar. We've talked about it before, or what it is, but just curious about that. I've been back and forth with the NWF guys on it, and they solved one of my problems. That was just me being an idiot, but this one it seems different. I don't know.
crank the shit out of the tensioner and leave it alone. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I haven't really had that happen at all.
Yeah, mine. I had two issues. One was me being a dumbass, and I was actually missing a snap ring on the that was holding the shift collar from sliding a certain distance. And in my defense, the whole shaft slides down, and you can't see that snap ring location. Now, granted, I should have seen I had a snap ring on the bench, and questioned where the fuck does that one go, but I didn't. But in that one, without having that snap ring in, if I was going downhill, it would pop out of uh, low range, but in high range, it would stay in gear, and vice versa. I didn't have high range on uh, inclines, but I had low range, so it worked out for a couple trips. But obviously, I didn't want it popping out of gear if I was going down a hill for any reason. Um, so
And not
yeah, I
ideal.
fixed that. I don't know if that caused my other problem with the snap ring. I wonder if maybe the whole shift collar wasn't sitting right and it wore it out. So now I may have to swap all those parts. I don't know. It's all coming apart soon.
Gotta
And
love it.
the
They're
300,
fun to split.
yeah. So no, they suck. I'm not looking forward to it. The 300. Do you have upgrades on that? Because I know, everybody likes to shit on 300s. I'm not a. I don't want to say I'm not a. I'm not a fan, just because I've never used one, so I don't really have an opinion. But the whole
I
idea of them just scares me.
all I
So-
know is I broke one in less than a minute and a half of driving it.
Still one of my favorite things to
It's-
have ever like witnessed.
It's a 32 spline output, and then I think I don't remember the brand, but whoever makes a billet aluminum cover
Okay.
for the flip kit
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Um,
huge.
and a mount in the back.
Okay. Yeah. So it can't really torque too
Not
much.
really.
Yeah. So this is gonna sound stupid, but I'm a huge fan of if you're gonna run a 300, run one of those billet covers because it helps to add rigidity to the housing, due to the way that the webbing's built into the case. When you flip it over, you're actually working against that webbing. It's not helping anything. So the big top covers help to add some strength to the case.
Absolutely.
I know they helped Miguel out a whole bunch. Did he have one initially? I don't remember.
No, when I blew his up, it did not. And the reason I'm not a fan of 300s, I blew both outputs in about a minute and 30 seconds.
All it took was one little bounce. But those were factory outputs. The 32 splines shouldn't break in that circumstance, I would hope. I'd hope you'd be
Ideally.
threading teeth. Like,
Is that much better though?
no, but at least I don't know.
Well, it's not like he has been wheeling it, so clearly he understands his G to a point. You were also in a new rig, Luke, so you were not fully understanding of what that rig
Yeah,
was
well,
like.
I
going
put it
to
in
do.
low range. As soon as they were fine with that thing until I got it in low range, and we were like, "Oh, well, this is a million times better. Just gotta run it in low range." And
One more time. Say
yeah,
it again.
and I think that's what killed it.
Yeah, and I mean sticky's fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Those were 43-inch sticky, so I guess that's fair. Speaking of tires, what are you running for tires on that bad boy?
40-inch Mickey Thompson MTZs.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
Okay.
wonder if we've had
Nice.
somebody who's
I've-
run those before.
I've had a sweet spot for those tires because way back in the day, I think it was Pat. Oh, what the fuck was his last name? He had a red ZJ from New England on. It was a 5-speed ZJ 4488, and he ran those things, and they always just worked. They were never bad. They just worked.
They're not the best at anything. They're not a 43 sticky, but they do pretty good for a DOT 40.
That's how I view my Nittos. They're a good tire. They're not the best tire out there. Or 40-inch Nittos. Did I say 43?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Well, that's normal.
You start talking about Nittos, and I just instantly shut up. Like I just tone it out. It's like, oh, this fucking guy is fucking Nittos again. Good God, Jesus.
You're one to
like
talk about your fucking grabbers. Fuck.
Okay, Mr. 13-year-old grabbers, calm down, there, buddy.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, you don't hear me praising the good Lord's name about them.
Yeah, you just spray paint some pink.
That was a little girl, damn it.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Just kidding, Luke. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go with a sticky or not. Like, do I want to go the route of like Graham or like what you were saying, Kyle, where it's nice to be able to drive it still, or just go with the sticky so I can look like a Chad out on the trail? What's the answer?
Well,
mean-
you're Mister. I want to smash the fuck out of it, so stickies are the answer.
All right. I mean, that's a pretty
We
good
didn't
answer.
ask you. We asked Kyle.
I'm
If
asking
I put
anybody.
stickies on my rig, it would still see the street.
Oh, that's no bueno.
I don't know.
Not really go that far.
Curtis talks. So okay, the only reason that I like, obviously everybody's like, oh, don't run stickies in the street. That's fucking bad for them. Okay, they can go suck a dick. You haven't shown me any proof of it. Curtis literally sat down and was like, do you see how this edge is completely curled up and fucked? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, that's literally from driving it up the street to the liquor store and then back. So I mean, then again, God only knows if he actually aligned it. God only knows if it's even tracking correctly. God only knows if he aired it up. So obviously there's some variables to it, but something to definitely consider.
You have to air tires up.
No, but you're gonna chew tires more. I mean, not to mention his lockers. He's locked like consistently in the front and rear, so I'm sure that plays a part as well.
It does. I think I'm at like 8 psi. I'm at whatever it was at when it was at Harlan. So that's got to be good for the Nittos.
Driving around at 6 front, 4 rear on the street doesn't feel very good.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't.
that's soft. That is soft.
Yeah, that's probably all over the place.
I don't know if
So-
you can blame just the tires for that.
What did you do to the axles to handle that? I mean, not to handle the 6 psi on the street, but I mean the 40.
538s, welded front and rear,
Chad,
1050 shafts up front.
Chad.
It's Protect Truss, Surplus Center, Hydro Assist,
Also Chad.
fronts JHF, weld on high steer.
What's that? Jesse Haynes fabrication?
Yeah.
Those look nice. I'm probably gonna buy Graham's when he fucking goes 05 plus and just swap over to the, what are those?
The
On your
Beyond
axle?
Precise. The BP.
Oh, the
Yeah.
knuckles.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, his are cool. I dig yours because you bought yours like the full knuckle. You didn't buy the welder's kit, right, Graham?
No, it's
Yeah.
weld on.
Oh, really? Oh, you did a fucking
It's
good
just
job. I didn't
a
even
good
notice.
weld on. Like the 04 weld ons are hit or miss. The
Mhm.
05s are all the same, or they look roughly the same. But the 04s, it's like you either get this monstrosity, or you actually get a good,
Huh.
a well fitting kit, and the BP one fits really well. I've tried to. I mean, it's not that I couldn't assemble the Artec, but I immediately went and put it together, and thinking about how the BP went together versus how the Artec ones went together, I told JB to send it back. Just get the BP. It's the same price. It's just a way better design. And,
Wow.
yeah. So he did. I don't know if he returned the other one, but he got the BP because he agreed. So
Huh.
and it's the 05s are not the same. The BP design on the 05s is a little, it's not bad. It's just it looks like all the other ones. You're not benefiting one way or another.
Oh, I
in that
really
case.
I kind of like this Jesse Haynes setup. It's nice.
I haven't seen that for the 05s. Let me pull it up.
It's It's not bad at all. I dig the way it's set up. He's got spacers in there to help with the time spacing, so you don't have to run misalignment spacers. It ties into the original bolt. Seems like it's a very well built design. Um,
Oh yeah, I
you
do like
know,
that.
the only thing that I'm torn on is like now that I'm looking at them, I almost want to go with the JHF kit for the 04
9904.
plus.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I really like that a
that's the
lot.
that's sort of the same. It does the same thing. Like the Artex didn't go to the top of the knuckle, right?
Knuckle.
There's that ridge at the top,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
a good kit will go right up to that. I hate to keep picking on Artec, but it's the only one I've seen. It's the Artec one that I had didn't do that. It just like abutted randomly into the side of it, and it just wasn't right.
Well,
Just
well,
little
there
shit
goes
like
our
that.
art tech sponsor. Good
Oh,
gun.
no.
No, we gotta talk to Trail Trash, and then we'll get Barnes four-wheel drive. Because
There we go. Now we're getting into it.
No, I am not shilling any of those companies.
I
They make good shit,
am
they can make
looking.
bad shit. Oh, that is kind of cool. They have the spacers in there.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
don't
really
mind-
like that.
I don't mind running a misalignment in there though. I mean, is there any benefit to?
No, it's just easier to replace, and I like the way that it's set up.
Yeah,
At least in my mind, I
it's
dig
well
it.
thought out. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Um, and I will shill for the Barnes their diff cover, even though it's expensive. I like it better than my rough stuff.
What's the difference? Oh,
So
theirs is that like the form-fitting one?
theirs is the form-fitting one, but it's double welded over the ring gear section, and it's got reinforcements on the lower bolt holes where I'm rubbing through the rough stuff one.
Mm,
Wow.
That might just be me being a little jaded because, I'm rubbing through the fucking rough stuff one. But
probably. That's probably part of it, but yeah,
um,
that's understandable. Swap
you
the
know,
cover every couple years, I guess.
yeah, that's what's gonna happen. But I know I'm gonna end up blowing through the fucking the bottom of the housing first. Ooh, their cast one's really fucking nice if you don't have to mount your
Hydro
high
to
steer
it.
to it. Yeah, it's $120. That's fucking a steal right there.
This Jesse Haynes still?
No, it's the Barnes HD low profile Super Duty Dana 60 differential cover. It's 120 fucking bucks. That's killer.
It's not that bad.
Sorry for the absolute derailment on your episode, Kyle.
No, I'm here
This
for it.
is like squirrel, and we do this.
Luke, he's a listener.
He understands.
I'm here for it. Don't worry.
He was very, very anxiously awaiting for his turn for the live derailment.
You haven't said I gotta ask yet either, which is kind of weird. He's probably waiting
I'm
for
pretty
that one.
sure he did.
No,
Has he?
I said something similar, but I purposely changed the wording because I didn't want to steal Luke's line.
We'll hit
I
that
don't
at
know,
another
but you'll be able
point.
to-
We've got like another hour or so of recording at a minimum.
Well, then
Uh,
let me do my thing because I started half of it and we
Okay,
derailed
yeah,
a little bit from it. So we talked about what tires you currently running. What's your favorite and worst DOT tire?
favorite and least favorite.
Whatever, however you want to say. It's made
DOT
up of
only.
Yeah, because I mean every sticky's good. Like let's just be honest. It's gonna do its job. Yes, the Patagonias are gonna suck in certain weather and the Treps are gonna do better when it's wet. You know what like they all have their thing, but for DOT specific.
I mean, DOT specific, where Midwest, East Coast, Kentucky, Tennessee, it doesn't seem like Pats really work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be my least favorite, an easy
Yeah.
hanging fruit kind of answer. As far as favorite, I mean, I like the look of the Baja Pro XS.
Mm-hmm.
Seem like they do pretty well, and I've heard they're pretty soft. Um, haven't wheeled with anyone running those yet, so I can't really say how they do in person.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen. I mean, I know Dave Linehan runs the 43 versions of those on his JK, and I've seen him wheel, but I haven't watched them enough to know if it's like the tire or just the fact that it's a 43 tire in general, right? I'd rather see like a 40 of any other tire in one of those. Do they even make those in a 40?
Yeah,
sure,
they make
actually.
them in
Yeah.
a 40.
Okay.
I'm really intrigued, honestly, by the Mickey 40 and the 43 DOT version of that tire, which I believe is what
Yeah.
Linehan's running.
Mhm.
To me, it seems like a stupidly fucking aggressive tire, and like I could break a lot of shit, which is cool.
Always a good time when you're breaking a lot of shit.
Yeah, those seem interesting. Not sure. I'll probably keep running these for a while.
I mean, it's a very good answer. So it seems like Mickey Thompson's kind of your go-to, is kind of what I'm getting at, right?
Kind of the go-to.
All right.
I mean, you can always talk great things about our Lord and Savior bog dogs.
A bog dog?
These are like the spiritual successors, these Bajas. I don't know. It's got the same. Maybe it's not
Yeah.
exactly the same. It doesn't have the legendary fingers, but it's got, you know.
You know, I would absolutely fucking love to give the sticky eye rocks a try.
I don't think
I like I'd
I
I'd try them if they were in front of me, but I don't know if I'd go out of my way to buy them.
after seeing how my 36s did, and those were just the bias ply ones. I mean, if I was out west, I'd have a lot more confidence in them. I don't think they really did all that phenomenal of a job. Then again, maybe my rig just wasn't heavy enough for them. So it's tough to really say, but
Well, I have a 5,000 plus pound rig, so I've got the weight I would think to make them do what they're supposed to do. Um, and the other thing with it is I like that they have similar to the bog dogs for the outer lugs, but the inner lugs are closer to the TSL, so you're less likely to fall off of a side hill.
Mhm.
Um,
But
I
you're less
also
likely
would
to fall off because the sidewalls don't flex too. So that's always helpful.
Well, your rig barely weighed 3,500 pounds and you were on 20-year-old tires.
No, they were 14.
Oh, listen, mine
Okay.
doesn't. My spare IROC doesn't move. You watched me slam that fucker into rocks.
And it has a date code from 2006. No.
Regardless, it doesn't move. That's the tire
Give
that
it
would go.
4 more years and it'll be like, or I'm sorry, give it 2 more years and
It'll be an antique.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. Put it in a
Hey.
museum.
You're going to be coming up on the right to vote for that tire.
I still don't know. I want to keep it as a spare, but I don't know if that's. I think that it might be too small. I might have to move on from it. With the 40s.
You know,
I don't know.
that'll be a sad podcast episode when we finally have to say goodbye to that IROC. Maybe we can get Caleb Spillane to actually come on and tell that thing's full story.
That would be sweet.
The IROC that keeps on giving and living.
Hey, I mean, it can come in as a package deal with all my Trep radials if somebody wants them. I've got 6 Trep radials. I think all of them hold air. At least 5 of them do, and the 6th one probably does. It's just off the bead, and I haven't filled it up with air yet. It slammed into a rock hard on the side, and an IROC that will never die. It's really the greatest trade deal you could possibly make. I just
art
need
of the deal.
green paper in return for these tires.
Green paper trades. That's what we're in here for. Oh, jeez. That's funny.
So I suppose that, we've got a guest on. He's been kind of quiet. We've been like running over him with diversions. Maybe we should ask him where he wheels.
Ooh, can we also ask him how he met Curtis?
Yes.
I feel like that'd
I
be a good one.
suppose we should start with the important question, which would be that first.
Uh, shit. Curtis and I went to Rocks and Valleys one time.
Which
then
is where?
Kind of
Michigan, I think, right?
a bit north in Michigan.
Okay, so it's flat. Got it. Getting it.
Yeah.
No, it's got Roxman Valley.
It's a decent park for Michigan for the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
We've wheeled a few times since then. So just internet friends like all of us.
Yep. Come on, give us a little
So-
bit of juice. Did he do something dumb? Did he break something? Did he try to inappropriately touch you? Give us something.
Did he wake up in your tent?
Oh, that would
No, we did a day trip. And
Oh,
it's honestly really fuzzy because I was working on my truck the entire night before.
oh boy.
Sounds like a Cummins. Yep.
The engine had
typical
like
shipping
500
time.
miles on it at that point, and I was doing a bunch of checks and finding issues and just making sure it was right before I towed.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
Makes
that's
sense.
I'm surprised. A story about Curtis that wasn't something extravagant. That's kind of impressive for Curtis.
Hang on, wait a minute. We gotta rewind here because he's had this Jeep for like fucking ever now. 4 years in an XJ of getting wheeled is starting to get up there in life. It's like wheeling a 50-year-old.
Yep.
So was he on 31s at this point in time?
No, he was on pit bulls.
Ah, the
Oh,
shit
that was
bulls.
that phase. Okay.
Yeah, it was his pit bull time.
Yep.
So the other question I have is, did you meet Masturbates?
Oh, I'm surprised because that would have been around that time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It might have been before that time, because according to Masturbates, him and Curtis got homoerotic when he was on 31s.
Oh, Jesus. Well, just to clarify, do you know who we are speaking of when we say masturbates? Let's just.
Yeah, Colin.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify just in case because I think we might have done that before where the person might not have known exactly who he was. But man, yeah, I'm kind of surprised. So it might have he might have left right before you were introduced to Curtis, I think, because if
I know Colin left when Curtis was pulling in the shop, I think.
okay.
So that would span that time period, because Colin's Jeep's like wheeling a 90-year-old chick at this
Oh, you're
point.
just dating everything at this point. We're just personalizing everything.
Oh, I'm just saying that
Personifying.
Colin's rig is an old fucking rig at this point. He's had that thing for fucking ever,
That is true.
and it's clapped.
Unchanged basically in its current state. I've watched it. He put coilovers in the front, and he changed the bumper, and that's it.
And he rebuilt the 60.
Yeah, I rebuilt the 60.
And he's fixed the shafts a few times on some 44s and changed a tire or two.
Well, he changed several shafts, but that doesn't it still is the same Jeep, which is pretty cool. I don't know, but it's also kind of sad. I wish he had put his 05 Plus in and done all that. But anyways, yeah, so an anticlimactic Curtis story. I mean, I guess he's
Yeah,
really
not
not
that
interesting.
exciting.
He's not that interesting of a person unless you start, riling him up.
Yes.
Well, that is
Oh.
what we do.
We do it very well too. So then let's circle back to Luke's question then, which was where do you wheel and kind of go from there.
Well, he just
What's your
said Rocks
favorite
and
spot?
Valleys. Okay, favorite spots.
Favorite spots? It's so far, some of my favorites have been Harlan and Roush. Wanting to get out to more places. the Badlands more times than I'd like to. Um,
Are you free in September,
Everywhere in
roughly around the
Michigan.
first week?
uh,
Now that you
Probably.
brought that up, I actually wanted to talk to you guys about that. This is a
Uh-oh.
little foreshadowing for some stuff that's going to be going on, but Colton Ringgold invited me to go to the Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia, and it's set up similar to Harlan. It's a slightly smaller park than Roush, but you can rent a cabin for $100 a night with 9 bedrooms in it. So if we
Wow.
wanted to do the Harlan thing, they're basically a lot more lenient than Roush is for the party scene, and it's only 2 hours further away.
Huh.
So they're starting to pop up, and I was thinking that we might move it to there because we were talking about going to AOP, but we're also talking about going to Roush earlier in the year. So instead of hitting Roush twice, maybe we hit the Good Evening Ranch. I think that, let me just make sure that I've got the name right, but I shared a bunch of pictures of it in the group chat from Colton.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um,
The only problem that I see with that is that our group, like that weekend, has stayed the same. But the one thing that hasn't has been the group size. It seems like every year that we go, the group size gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we kind of have to consider that as we go into it, that if we are going to continue to do the Web Wheelers Ball, that we have to stay in the understanding of like that the people we invited last year are most likely going to go again the next year, and then anybody else that we've invited that are going to go. So we have to make sure that some property is able to withstand 14 of us or so, and like,
yeah, yeah. Maybe we consider that then for the earlier trip and we go out there around the fourth weekend, but it looks like it's going to be a good time and it's highly spoken of by someone that I value their opinion on. And it's a newer park, so like we should probably consider giving some of our time to some of the newer parks in the area and like seeing what they are because we gotta grow the sport somehow. And
well,
like,
you're closer than us, so go scout the trails, Lewis and Clark. Go tell us what it's like, and we'll rally the bunches.
um, I'm planning an AOP trip or a Windrock trip. I'm not sure which for April. And I'm planning on the May trip to AOP. After that, it was Roush in July and then Roush in September. And I'm kind of keeping everything else open for, if I get a phone call from like John and Casey or Brad or Dwight to go and do hood rat shit at like Choco, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would just hate to plan something on a blind run when we've never seen the property, we've never had somebody go there. I get that we're valuing his opinion, but I also value one of our club members' opinions, and then we went to fucking Sawmill. So, like, it's
Hey, from what I hear, the part of Sawmill that
No,
was closed
no.
is actually decent.
no. Fuck that place. I will never. I'm telling you, I would rather shit in a sock and suck on it than ever go back to that place. I'd rather purposefully break one of my vertebrae than ever go back to that place because, at least I'd save the cash of driving there. It'd be the same outcome. No offense. I mean, fuck the owners. They aren't listening anyways. Never mind. I was gonna apologize to them, but no, that place fucking sucks. Yeah. There's my rant for
The
the day.
backyard is cool.
Yes, the backyard is great, but not for 14 people. It's a
It
little.
would probably be a little crowded then.
Yeah, I'd say so. But no, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down to kind of explore a little bit more. I mean, once the Jeep's back in order and my money flow is back in order, I have no problems driving and doing whatever we got to do.
Yeah,
So
I think we've talked about it a little bit, but it's fucking weird growing up because suddenly it's like you start missing the um going out every weekend and hitting my bell over and over again, and it starts
And that
becoming
being
like,
enough. Just
Yeah.
go to the local spot. Yeah.
and it's like Yeah, so I'm gonna drive 650 miles to Roush. We're gonna wheel Roush. It's awesome. It's only like a 12-hour drive. Not a big deal. And then at some point, I'm planning a s'more trip. Maybe while I'm down there, I'll hit Choco, like all the trips become a lot fucking larger and they all become weekend trip.
To clarify, S'mores in Missouri and Choco is in Georgia, so that doesn't really add up. Just throwing it out there.
Choco is in Alabama, but it's
Oh,
six
why
and a
was-
half hours away. And you
Oh.
can make a loop like a little bit of an L and hit both.
oh, then I think I was misunderstanding in that when Curtis was talking about it. My bad.
I'm supposed to hit S'more over Memorial Day. Looking forward to seeing that park.
Rip.
I don't think I've
Well,
seen
we'll have
anything.
to try and
Store.
steal you for the July trip then, because that'll be cool to have a turbo shitbox with us. Okay. So you guys are making it really hard to want to go to Roush then, because Chris
What are you talking
Ayusa is
about?
gonna.
We got to do one Roush trip, and I think the
No, I'm
Roush
not
trip we've
saying
always
that.
done needs to stay in place.
Correct.
But
I
I'm
think so
just
too.
saying
Let's
that
not
for
change that.
Memorial Day, he's going to Harlan, and Ayusa is going to be at Harlan that weekend.
I am not taking my shit box down to Harlan. It is not ready and it will not be fun. So don't ruin my Memorial Day weekend because you want to go play on the big boy trails, dickhead.
They're not even that much of a big boy trail though. Roush is legitimately harder. It's just cool people are showing up at Harlan, and it's 3.5 hours away.
Oh, so you're just lazy. Got it. I got it. You just don't want to stay to the commitment that you already made. I get it. I get it. It's fine.
Nah, I've still got the time taken off for Roush,
That's good.
so that is planned.
Personally, I would just say this year we just split the days. We try, AOAA, and then we stick with our Roush thing. No?
Nope.
From what I trust Chris's opinion when it comes to
Go back to this.
trails. I don't
Yep.
even want to touch it. I mean,
Dude,
just-
if I'm driving 10.5 hours, I'm wheeling Roush. I'm not gonna fucking go someplace.
if I had been to Roush like 10 times, 15 times, then it might be a different story, right? Right? Because at that point I'd hope I'd have done majority of it, right? But I feel like I haven't. I feel like every time we go, there's still like that one trail that nobody hit because we just didn't have time.
And like we can get people like Jason Ramsey, who I have to go and play Tarkov with in about
I'm
45
sorry.
minutes
What?
to an hour.
Sidebar, when the fuck did you start playing Tarkov and when the fuck did you stop inviting me, asshole?
Oh my god.
What?
Well, Jason started
I'm
beating
mad.
me over the head with it, and he finally was like, "Here's my backup account. You're going to fucking play it."
Wow. So
So
the
I'm
game
at,
that I
like,
said
level
that you would
3.
enjoy to play, I'm getting cucked. Wow. You know what?
You
Fuck
stole
you
it.
and Jason.
Jason
I get it.
stole him. That's
That's
But
funny.
hey, I wouldn't have bought it.
How many friendly
but-
fires have you done yet?
None.
Wow, that's impressive. That usually, wow. I'm impressed.
I normally, if I'm playing with someone, stick to them like fucking glue just to not friendly fire. I got friendly fired because I almost shot Jason and he didn't realize I was coming up the stairs. So I just ate full auto to the face, and as a level 3 with like no armor, you're dead.
Yeah.
right.
One tap
But
to
that's enough video game.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
last
gonna say,
now. One last
that's-
question.
Nerds.
One more
That's one of the,
question.
No. You,
Come on. Fine. I'll ask after. It's fine. No, it's fine.
yeah, let's
Fuck you,
let's
Jason.
keep it to light.
Back to Roush though. So with people like Jason that know the park like the back of their hand, it's really sick to go to Roush because that park is fairly large, so you can hit a bunch of different shit. You're not gonna wheel all the same trails over and over again until you've been there like 15, 20 times.
And the places are always changing, and it's a pretty big park for New England. No, I guess Pennsylvania isn't even New England anymore, but
Yeah, it's New England.
No,
Is
it's
it?
New England. Yeah, Pennsylvania is like one of the lower sides of it. Like New Jersey is considered New England.
really?
Like, yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
I guess
I
I
think
don't know
that's
my
like the
geography.
bottom of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Maryland's part of it. I
Nope.
think that's just like Eastern Seaboard, and I forget where the Mason-Dixon is. I want to say that's Virginia.
Yeah, well, either way, I mean, it's just a nice change of pace from what we have up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can just bomb around. We don't go that often, so things are generally different. Like I said,
And it's pretty close, and it kind of feels like a vacation going down there because you're going so far. Then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, this is new," but it's like, "Fuck, that's like an acacia tree. I have those in my backyard, so we're not that far away yet, but we're still far away." Like,
yeah,
yeah.
no,
Yeah,
it's
you're not
nice.
playing in the pines yet.
No, when we get to the redwoods, though, that's when I'll be excited.
Honestly, nah.
No,
That's
come
not
on.
gonna excite
What?
me that much. I'd rather go to Johnson Valley than go all the way out to where the redwoods are.
So like to go to Fiji and look at exotic fish. So like I guess we're just on different paces. I'm sorry. I don't know. Trees excite me. Yeah, right. Actually, no. Fuck it, right, Richie? Trees excite you? Let's go. We're going to fucking Washington Wheel. You down? We'll go look at some trees.
Please. I am a special
BMW
kind of
Beyond
tree
seems
hugger.
like a good old time.
I'm a special kind of tree hugger. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
I would be down for PNW wheeling. I thought you were talking about California.
no,
So,
no, Washington,
sorry.
Oregon area. No, no, sorry. I
Oh,
wouldn't go to
no,
California.
I would absolutely give that a shot.
If we're going to California, yeah, obviously we're going to Johnson Valley, or I don't really think Rubicon Trail, as from what we were told, is worth the efforts. But then
Well, I
again,
don't-
nostalgia,
would
yada
would
yada
we
yada.
make it? I don't know. Are the rigs
Oh, no, we're
reliable?
doing it in the-
Luke wouldn't have a clutch, and he'd probably be stalling every 20 minutes if Harlan was a. He'd be
testament of that.
You'd drive for 10 minutes, wait for 30.
Hey, it starts up, it just won't run right. So we're making progress. Slow progress, but
Yeah.
progress.
I've been
Yeah,
there
that-
for a month.
Oh, well, you've also don't have a manifold. Well, you have a different style manifold that has a little twirly boy at the end of it. So I guess that's a fair thing for you to have going on with that. But
Yeah,
I
no,
forget.
my Jeep's
My brain
just
broke.
like,
Oh, that's good. Anyways, yeah. Especially if it's hot out too in Johnson Valley, it's gonna be like drive for 5 minutes and sit for 40 to like an hour. So maybe we figure that one out before we go all the way out there.
yeah.
Oh,
Plus-
speaking of Johnson Valley, sorry to cut you off, Luke.
You're fine.
So I didn't watch the main race. I know the King of Hammers, obviously, I'm talking about. Who did anybody watch that? I would have loved to, but I was sitting in front of my shit and JB's stuff, and
Yeah, so I was in here. We had a couple people pass through for the watch party, but it really wasn't that much of a watch party. It was a decent looking race, but like I came in the middle and I left before it ended to go because Jason roped me into Tarkov
mm,
again. So, you know, I can't say that like I was the best KOH fan, but I will say that we might be talking to a KOH team. I'm working
Hell yeah.
on some strings.
that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. A little
The-
bit of blue balls,
the-
but I'm down for it.
The whole yeah, I mean, just after talking with why is my brain breaking right now?
Crazy K's.
Just all those guys from out there that we've talked to, regarding just the whole off-roading out there just seems very different from here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah.
it's much more organized in a lot of ways. So it just I don't know where I was going with this, but
You say it.
The bigger thing out there too, because it seems like the rigs are a lot different. You know, like we talked with Crazy K's and their rig is what, 104-inch wheelbase, I want to say, and we've got people out here rocking 118, 110's like the norm.
I feel like
Or
out
your
west you see longer wheelbases a lot.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. There's a lot more full size rigs too. I mean, you'll see full
get
size
away
like
with it.
trucks and stuff like that.
Full body
Yeah, but their
even.
buggies seem shorter, and like their really, really built rigs to me look like they are shorter wheelbases. Because if you follow the forums, they're running like 105, 106. So you're still shorter than your average New England ship box.
That's true. I mean, I think I'm almost at that. I'm at like 104 or something. So,
Yeah.
and I'm
Fish is
tiny.
at 104 as well.
Mhm.
Right around 110.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm at 110 as well. I'm at like 109.5, I think.
So do you have? This is a question I have for you, I guess, because you said your leaf's in the rear still, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you? I assume you have some stretch in the rear. You didn't just stretch the front.
Yes.
Okay, so how much in the rear, and what'd you do to get it?
Oh man, you're gonna make me do math.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Better than
right
us trying to
now,
make you math.
it's on its third iteration. I did some front brackets from Ari's Fab. They're kind of a prototype.
Mhm.
It's not selling those quite yet, but similar to the other relocation brackets for those fronts.
Yeah, like the
I
ones
got
that Iron
the-
Man sells, like the 3
Yeah.
holes. Yeah.
HD off-road lift relocations in the rear.
Okay.
I'm now on S10 springs.
And what's the difference between Cherokee Springs and those? Is it different
The
pin
pin is
location?
back 2.5 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're also a little bit longer. I think they're 54 inches
Yep.
instead of 51 something.
Hmm.
And do you have is your gas tank not there
Got a
anymore,
fuel
I
cell
assume?
in the
Okay,
hatch.
gotcha.
For that, I was on flipped XJ Leafs, which lasted 4 months.
Jeez.
The first day in the rocks, I bent one really bad.
Jesus.
And I assume you've got a
so-
traction bar and everything, and that didn't help it.
Yeah, that did not help it.
Yeah.
Flipped
Shit.
Cherokee springs suck.
I told you, Graham.
I know.
I would avoid them.
Okay. Good to know.
Maybe made it 200 feet into something that was decent before I
And
bent
Wow.
it.
Okay, so not worth it. I'll just have to.
Now, were they kind of old sagged out ones, or were they fairly decent? Just to clarify.
I bought them new like 3 months before that.
Oh shit!
Warranted them though.
You just
keep
didn't tell
the
them that
old
you flipped
ones. Absolutely not.
Well, see, I put them in backwards, and it's weird. Somehow they broke. I don't know.
My drive
shaft
had a hell of a time with all this shit.
And I just used them wrong in every way. I can't believe they broke.
Replace them now.
Oh, man.
That's funny. Yeah, we have a few guys in our club that are running flipped leafs. Granted, it's on smaller rigs. Both of them don't have traction bars and all that, and they still seem to be going pretty decent. But I'm sure once you start throwing a little extra weight, a little bit more love at them, I'm sure they're gonna start going crazy.
I didn't put it in a good position. I probably slid halfway down a pretty vertical wall.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
but still.
But like, yeah,
I was
just
still
quote
disappointed.
Graham. Still, like, my rig has landed on the leaf springs on rocks, like when it was on leaves. It doesn't have that problem anymore because I realized that leaves are stupid. But you know,
No, say it right. Leafs are for poor people. We get it, Luke. I get it. That's cool, dude.
Feel
no,
personally
I'm
attacked.
fucing poor, so I just
Sorry,
Well, you're
put money
richer
up.
than me, and my name is Rich, so fuck you.
Okay, I'm better at randomly directing funds on impulse purchases. Is that better?
Yes. We'll take that. We'll take
Because
that one.
that is 110% true.
I impulse buy coilovers and guns.
See, I impulse buy Taco Bell, so like we're not the
Same,
same.
Cody.
I haven't had Taco Bell in like almost a year.
So you haven't had their chicken chalupa? That motherfucker is great.
No,
Sorry.
I have not.
So good. Gotta try it sometime.
Well, we've got this place called Dos Bros down the road, and they serve your burrito in like one of those tin
Two
foil
bros.
Dos Bros.
Two brothers.
Yep, two bros.
Well, the
El
burrito
Gato
comes in an oven pan, and it's amazing.
Are you sure that's not a is it a wet burrito?
By wet you mean slathered in cheese sauce? You're goddamn right.
Oh yeah, that's an enchilada. That's not a
Nope, it is a burrito. If you order the enchilada, you get 3 of them in there.
You get 3 of those massive ass burritos?
They're not as massive. They're turned sideways, so you gain a little more in like the circumference, but lose on the length.
It's all about girth.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that how I make it look bigger? I just gotta turn it sideways. So okay, since we're on the topic of food, when we go down there, we're going to fucking Zaxby's. All right, I've heard nothing.
Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A fucking blows Zaxby's out of the fucking water.
What the fuck is Zaxby's?
Zaxby's is pretty much Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
it's like the
But clearly
poorest
not, because you're
version
comparing
of
them.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A blows Zaxby's out of the water. Like,
have you ever had
10 out of
Zaxby's,
10.
Kyle? I think you have a better mindset on food because clearly this guy's a crackhead. Have you ever had Zaxby's?
If not,
Oh, well, then
Curtis
never
was
mind.
supposed to take me to Chick-fil-A though, and then we saw each other on a Sunday.
Oh.
Lord's
I want
Chicken is closed.
Chick-fil-A, but it's Sunday. Sorry. Good song.
Yeah,
Anyways.
so spicy chicken deluxe from Chick-fil-A versus the spicy chicken sandwich from Zaxby's. Zaxby's got more meat, but the flavor, presentation, and deliciousness of Chick-fil-A, 10 out of 10 blows Zaxby's out of the water.
Well, we're trying Zaxby's. I don't really care. We're trying it because I've been told great things from a buddy of mine from Missouri, and he said Zaxby's is where it's at. So
It's
you
okay.
probably like.
He's from
you probably like
Missouri,
Arby's,
so he's
too.
wrong.
Wow. Yeah, you seem
So
like
is
a
this the
garbage guy.
blue collar
Yeah,
food
Food review.
cast?
Yeah.
we can talk about
Hey.
raccoon facts too if you want.
Nothing is more blue collar than garbage food.
Yeah, that's true. I actually had a gas station, like a legit gas station sandwich the other day, and thought I was gonna fucking hurl everywhere. It was during a snowstorm, so I didn't have any time, so I had to stop and grab a can of dip. And like, so I'm going to the place that's got like the $5 cans. I'm not going to the $13 skull can section. And I saw a little packaged up sandwich, and I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna try it. Don't do it. Bad call.
What are you
Almost
talking
shit
about?
myself.
Fuck, if we're talking gas station food, Cody, and I'm specifically calling you out because you are close enough when you come down to see Kate.
Yeah.
Down in Thomaston, there's a gas station that's kind of in the fork of a road going out towards Watertown there.
Yeah.
And they got a deli in the back. And whoo-wee, did me and my dad stop there a couple years ago to get a sandwich because we were starving. We go back there. We ordered one grinder, planning on splitting the thing. Just he gets half, I get half. We each ate half of our half and ate the other half for dinner.
I'm gonna be honest
so
with you.
fucking loaded. And it was only $7 for the entire sandwich.
They're hit or miss.
Nothing sounds like sign me up than the back of a gas station food section. I mean, so I'm in. Sure, let's go.
No, like it was good. It was good.
Gas station sandwiches have kept me alive many a days when planning a trip with Colin.
That's because it's because you guys are spending all the money in tires. You can't afford the Chick-fil-A.
Only stops
shit.
at gas stations.
Good God, yeah, no. See, this is why I feel like I should go my own route down to the meet and beat at Windrock. Because I
You'll
feel
be
like
miserable if you come with me because I've my habits as far as trips go is just it's a Colin level trip, so just expect that. It's not
No.
fun.
You went to Saco and didn't have any problems until you got there. No, you had something happen. You had something happen. Never mind.
What? I don't remember what happened, but I did.
It was something small though, because I know that you were. It was late as fuck. So I think it was something stupid.
I don't remember.
I can't remember it now, but I know you
wasn't
made
that
it.
bad then. Yeah.
You're only
I
partially
definitely
late.
I left late because I had to work like a normal person, like you guys. But
I've had bad luck on vacations anyways, and you've had bad luck traveling to go wheeling, so maybe we shouldn't travel together. We might just catastrophically like implode or
it's
something.
fine. You just have to embrace it. It always happens, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Unless
say
your
that-
guys' bad luck cancels each other's out.
No, the bad luck just becomes the vacation, right?
They're
Yeah.
compounds or cancels. There's no in between.
See,
What was that?
see,
Couldn't hear
I
you
was
through
stuck-
through the vape.
see
It
fucking
either
robot
compounds or
dick sucker.
cancels. There's no in between.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I was also stuck in a flood. You guys just had to deal with a few tires blowing out, so like I don't know. Yeah,
A few. They had to replace like 20 fucking tires.
no, it was like
Just
6.
Four,
Oh,
four
sorry.
tires.
Well, if
No,
you kind of
fucking, it seemed like 20.
I know.
oh shit. Anyways, let's go back to Kyle. Feel bad, Kyle.
Yeah, we are like totally dragging his episode through the mud.
No worries.
So-
What's up?
So with you having a full blown rig, I'm sure, like, and you've done most of the work yourself, if not all the work. I'm sure there's been trials and tribulations that you've kind of gone throughout it. Give us one mod that you wish you never did because it was a waste of time and money, other than the leaf spring flip. You already talked about that. And second thing, something that for like if a listener has a smaller Jeep and one day wants to go to a bigger Jeep, give us something that you would suggest.
Okay. Something I wish I'd never done. Looking at it.
Do 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 do.
And this is too much pressure, most of it really, but
Give us something like what's one thing that you just look at and you're like,
Or like
"Fuck,
something you
why
did
I
and
do
then
this?"
like have replaced since then because it just
Yes.
wasn't
the
right.
the
It went
cross
up there.
member, want to do it again. I think I have a better place to work on it and build something a lot stronger for the trans cross member that has the 3-link on it.
Mhm.
I did rip that off one time, and that was not super fun.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I know.
Wouldn't
Not
imagine that is.
completely ripped off, but it was going.
Now
Yeah.
Confirm.
was it a kit or was it a like a build your own sort of deal?
I just built my own stuff with brackets. I can definitely do a better job with what I've learned. So I'm hoping to
Yeah.
cut that off when I do ORIs up front.
Ooh, so you're going against the Curtis grain and going with ORIs. Interesting.
No, that would be embracing the Curtis grain.
That's embracing Curtis, but I don't think he actively recommends them.
Oh, definitely not. I can see that, especially with having especially if you not necessarily cobbled it, but it's not to what you 100% wanted, but you knew it would work, so you slapped it in. I could definitely see in that be something that happened.
It's not currently broken. It doesn't look like it wants to. But
But
I think
it's-
I could do
yeah.
better.
I get that.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
you on that, especially on the cross member. Mine broke at Roush pretty bad. And that wasn't fun.
When was that? Oh, way back when you said, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
down,
Sorry, go ahead.
drive down from Mason Jar in Harlan back to camp was a little stressful, knowing that the cross member was partially ripped off.
Yeah, I bet. That's not a.
I thought it was stressful coming from the middle plateau back with no clutch. I can't imagine that.
Mm.
I mean, it
Uh,
held enough
How bad was
back
it
to the
ripped
trailer.
off? Was it like
Half of one side was pulled
Oh.
off.
so like hit something wrong and put it under pressure, and it'll just, yeah, that's.
Oh, boy.
And like, I'm sure that looking at the tops of the trees next to you was super confidence inspiring.
Very. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see.
Mm.
Yeah, like when you realize that you're looking down on a 120-foot tall tree, you get this warm fuzzy feeling about your rig.
Oh yeah, and you
Even
want the guy
before
with,
it's broke.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Those trails are gnarly.
and you're trying to convince the guy who's afraid of heights to go and wheel down there. Yeah, fuck you, fuck that. I'm all set.
Come to AOP. Quit being a bitch. Just on the side of a mountain, it's not like at the edge of the mountain.
Yeah, that's fine as long as I'm not looking over the edge. Then we're chilling.
Oh, Harlan
doing
was
all right.
fun, despite all of its
Yeah.
all of our problems. But I'd go again.
You know, I think it's the rose-colored glasses coming on, but I'm looking forward to the next trip there.
Rose
It's
colored.
part
What
of
does
the
that mean?
growth. It's it's when all the bad things are filtered out, right? He's not remembering the bad parts.
No,
Like-
I'm
like-
remembering getting drunk with Curtis and convincing him to flip his rig while managing to hold my fucking or alcoholic bang energy.
Oh my
upright.
god, those
Through
things
the
were
roll.
disgusting. Ugh,
And then
It was
throwing
the
it door at Colin.
strawberry peanut butter
gross. No, that shouldn't be a
flavored one,
drink.
and I didn't spill it when he rolled his Jeep, so I am proud of that moment.
That sounds horrible. Strawberry peanut butter.
Yeah, it was not.
Surprisingly
flavor.
okay. That
No.
was the better flavor.
No.
I do not like putting anything in my mouth when the description of it is surprisingly okay. Yeah, no, I'm good.
When an energy drink company is making alcoholic beverages, just expect it to taste like shit.
All I'm gonna say in my defense, Cody, I had already drank a shit ton of Yingling and was already pissed at my Jeep, so anything alcoholic was going down the hatch. Before we left, it was Nippers and Jack, and then when we got back, or while I was riding, Curtis wasn't really drinking, but I was getting hammered.
I mean, that's what a
You're just there for
passenger's.
the ride.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what a passenger's there to do: hang out and get drunk.
So, like, I don't even mind when my rig blows up because I just do that as the passenger. So,
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's fun to wheel too.
I like both.
So, in regards to, we just talked about mods that you regret. What's something that you look at and you're just like, you know what? That was the best fucking thing I've done in a while.
The EcoBox 300, and there's always concerns that the 300 is going to explode, but to have double low and have that low range and be able to do front digs is really nice.
Yeah, it's a game changer. How often do you use it, and do you have a what do they call them? Like a line lock or something, to facilitate front digs, or is it just skinny pedal?
I just mash the brakes and gas,
Okay.
let it turn. I haven't used it a ton. When I have, it's been nice.
Yeah.
It's not something you're gonna use
no,
12
yeah.
times in a day
no.
wheeling, but when you do, it's a great option.
It's fun. It's fun to have. I agree with you. And I didn't really think about that. The just the EcoBox in general is sort of it changed how I wheel. I'm sure coming from the
Yeah.
231, you sort of had the same
Yeah,
feeling, I'm sure.
yeah, to have just that much more gearing and control is game changer.
And are you automatic or manual?
Automatic.
Okay.
Grub.
No, smart man. Smart
Scrub.
man.
Listen,
Less
Cody,
problems.
we get it.
Less problems. Less problems. Stop it.
I don't need to add
We-
difficulty. I'm bad enough at driving.
Yup.
All right, all
He
right.
gets it, he
Props to
gets
the
it.
guest for getting it. Go fuck yourself, Cody. We understand you can't figure out which leg to use after you get pegged. but
What, dude? I drove a standard for most. My first car was a standard that I drove for like 4 years. What? Fuck
listen.
you.
It's okay. We get it. You know.
Oh my god! I still have wheeled your Jeep a few times, installed less times than you. Come on, that's fucked
Yeah.
up.
Well, you also do less cool shit than I do.
Nope, I'm not accepting the slander today. Not happening. Nope, not me.
You've
We're all
already been
kids.
slandered. It's over. Just accept it.
That's fucked up.
All
I
right.
get it.
So now that we're an hour and 30 in, I'm thinking we move on towards. I mean, unless you
Waltz
got any.
crawlers.
I was thinking, touch on waltz crawlers a little bit. Curtis has. I understand it because Curtis explained it when we were at one trip, and then obviously I followed it, and I've now I sort of understand the whole lore behind it, but
What the fuck is it? I don't even know. Somebody tell me.
exactly. So I'm probably not the one to describe it. That would be Kyle.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of people up to wheel a park that's only like 25 minutes from me. It's about 100 acres called Holly Oaks. It's small, but they've got a few nasty rock sections. Not bad for a day.
Mhm.
Around Michigan, there's a lot of waltz crawler signs at gas stations, selling, worms for fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And we all had crawlers, and the idea just kind of connected, and then we had a waltz crawler sign. And then, the beers started flowing more and more. Someone made an Instagram. There's like,
That Instagram is a goddamn gold
It's
mine.
hilarious.
it's like, there's at least 6 people logged in.
Holy shit!
Never really know who's posting anything or responding to anything.
It's a continuous, ongoing shit post. It's amazing to follow.
That's all it is. It's
Well,
just terrible shit posting.
You got me hooked. I'm in. Right after this, I'm signing up. I'll follow you guys for sure. That sounds exciting.
I just
So-
I
That's
just love
about
the,
it. It's just people around the Midwest that came up here and kind of shit post.
So
Is Michigan even the Midwest? You guys are like on the eastern half of the state or the country, part of it.
I mean, if
Midwest.
Ohio's Midwest,
It's in the middle.
Yeah. Indiana is Midwest. So if Indiana is Midwest, Ohio's Midwest, and if Ohio's Midwest, Michigan unfortunately has to be
I mean,
Midwest.
it's more west from the east, which is yeah. So
No,
it is west.
no.
It's not wrong.
I'm not accepting this.
No, it is what it is.
So
basically just saw a sign and then went downhill shit posting.
Yeah, I just the
we
fact that it's
expect
just like a
nothing
worm,
less.
bait and tackle thing. I didn't realize they were all over the place. I thought it was just like one little spot or something. But I guess that makes sense.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's funny.
You drove to dinner and must have passed 10.
I'm surprised you guys didn't come up with it earlier then.
It just took some drinks at dinner.
Yeah. It's one of those things
So-
that just happens.
You got to explain how Brad Prater ended up with one of them.
I sent him a sticker.
Oh wow, that's
He
fucking
does
gay.
walt things.
He
True.
does. He does.
Anyone that you're either Walt or not Walt,
Not Walt.
and you don't have to. There's no defined rules. You just
Have to walt it.
you have it or you don't.
Yep.
It's like Fight Club, I feel like. That's funny.
So, I'm not sure what my favorite thing was from the page, but I'm definitely going to have to give a shout out to the video of the XJ rolling down potato salad and landing on its wheels. That was good. And then the Toyota blowing up with the turbo on it was also good.
Those are some good ones. There's
Uh,
a couple guys out in Illinois. The XJ that rolled in Moab potato salad, the rig's a lot different now.
But
Uh,
Is
like,
it is it due to it exploding down the hill or
Played a part in it.
makes sense?
I mean, my half doors.
I have
Sure.
to ask a serious question. Is Illinois even a real place? Like,
Sounds like
18 years of
Australia.
my life say it is, but I mean,
I
no,
don't know if
nothing's
it's
real.
real. Like, I know Chicago's a real place because I flew in there and out of there, but that was my best memory of Chicago was flying out of there. My
That's how
worst
everyone
memory of
feels.
Chicago is flying in there.
It's so weird. This is like the most odd question I've ever heard somebody ask. Is Illinois real? Well,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
nothing's real. This is a simulation.
yep.
All right, this dude gets
Australia
it.
is fake. Australia is fake.
It can't be real. Everything's too big. It's all staged.
Exactly. They just got the camera focused a little too far in. Now it looks fake.
So did off-roading start because someone had a JPEG of a tire and they accidentally blew it up too big?
Yeah, I'd say so. Or like the scaling was
Okay.
off of the tire manufacturer. He's like, dude, this is like 35 inches. What the fuck you doing? I asked for. Never mind, that wouldn't make sense. I was gonna go the opposite direction, but hey, something's gotta make sense there.
Yeah, it couldn't be like some grassroots fun. Nah, it's got to be like a simulation bug.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see. We've talked about the Jeep. We've talked about waltz crawlers. So have you wheeled with any cool people that are worthy of shouting out on here?
Oh man. I mean, we
On
can
the
shout out
spot.
Curtis.
Oh,
Yeah, but
no,
He's
we
not
can't do
cool,
that.
though.
He's like
Um,
the opposite of who we want to shout out.
I mean, most of the people I wheel with are all the Midwest, people on tons. You got MJ crawling.
Oh, hey,
with
could
him
you
a
do
few
us a
times.
favor and bully him?
Sure.
Because we sent him a message and we got left on red, which kind of hurt my soul a little bit.
Hopefully, I don't get left on red, but I'll try.
Thanks.
Yeah, he'd be cool to talk to. That's a cool Jeep.
There's just kind of a whole group in the Midwest, 1-ton shitbox people. All end up wheeling with each other a good bit.
And it's really funny because, like, it seems like that group is really large, but when you, like, scale out on it, it's really not. It's probably what? How many people are actually running cool 1-ton rig?
There's quite a few.
There's
There's
quite
a lot
few.
around. Honestly, there's quite a few that are around, more than I'd ever expect.
But at the same time, like, compared to how many XJs and JKs and shit are out there that have like 33s and a budget boost, it's fucking wild how much smaller that group is.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true.
down here, one of the big things that I never thought was going to be big is the overlanding. It's fucking huge for no reason. But when you start like looking around, you can find there's a rig that I really want, but I'm never going to be able to buy. It's a Toyota turbo on propane with 40-inch reds for sale for like 7.5, and it's going to be gone by the time that I find the money. But
That'd be cool.
there's some cool fucking shit out there. But the percentage of cool shit to like normie shit is ridiculous.
Yep. It's hard to find the cool stuff. Just how it goes.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people for Winterfest, the old mass event. I didn't even register. Doesn't matter.
Just gonna show up.
Oh, it's a good event. It's organized, but it doesn't give anything for people on tons and 40 plus tires.
Oh,
So there's no real reason unless you want the shirt.
That's another thing that I've found is there's a point of diminishing returns where you just start going to like, if you've got I'm gonna call it a moon buggy, but in this area, you're gonna go to maybe Roush, F&F, maybe AOP, and those are like the three parks that really stand out in my mind. If you've got like a bouncer, you're gonna be at like Choco or Dirty Turtle. You're not, you know what I mean? Like at some point, there's just a point where you've built your vehicle to diminishing returns.
Yeah,
Well,
I think I
that's
see that a lot in the Midwest. I mean, most of the parks don't need 40s or bigger for majority. So
You
you've
know,
built something past most of it, and most of the guys around here that are on bigger stuff traveling, you have a regular park that's, convenient.
yeah.
It's going down to Kentucky, it's going out to Missouri, it's driving out to Pennsylvania.
yeah.
But like even, at that point, I think that if you had a well-built, I can't believe I'm about to fucking say this, Cody, go fuck yourself. But if you have something
Oh,
like
okay.
Cody's rig, you would have a fucking blast at Harlan
Nah.
because you could do 85% of that park and that last 15% is gonna hook you.
Hmm.
So you're gonna go back to that kind of shit. Whereas, someone like Graham's rig, or if my rig was running right, I could probably do 95% of that park. And the only stuff that I'm really gonna get denied on there is the shit where, yeah, it's just buggy territory. But there isn't enough of just buggy shit at Harlan, in my opinion, to make it worth bringing a buggy all the way down from New England to Harlan.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
I,
see
I
what
know
you mean.
I know what you're saying. That's a tough one.
But it
Harlan
would be
isn't.
cool to bring a buggy to Harlan because it's fucking Harlan,
Yeah.
you know?
I also, I don't know. I just have a tough time like committing to a major trip like that, knowing that there's a lot of trails that I can't do, especially at a place that I haven't been before, because in the circumstance of me going somewhere and it being way too far
Why
out
can't
of
you do
either,
them? Why can't you do the trail?
don't know.
What's your what's holding
Okay,
you
so
back?
like the J Trail at Roush, you want me to just launch my shit up it and hope that I don't flatten out like a
But
pancake
you
when I'm
don't
rolling
have to
up?
do J Trail.
No, but what if I go to like if let's say we go someplace we've never been before, but one person has like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I choose life, so
Harlan, if you go to the bottom of Mason Jar and you go up, you're gonna struggle like a motherfucker on 35s, and you might have to get winched in a spot or two. But like, eh.
Really, Mason Jar
Mm.
just had that one like initial gatekeeper spot.
Yeah, and
I
if
think
you
you could.
winch up the gatekeeper, his rig would do it. Um, and then like, Middle Rock Garden. Yeah, everyone had a fucking problem in Middle Rock Garden because it rained the
It
night
was a
before.
fucking puddle. It was a slop
So
fest.
we watched Curtis beat the fuck out of his rig on 42s and make it the same distance Graham made on 37s.
Yeah, that was just a shoe in.
You know, um, and it's like if you were on 35s, you wouldn't have gotten any more denied than Graham or Curtis. Just the point of denial would have been instead of the third ledge up, the second ledge. Like,
Yep.
um, at Roush, right? Like, you're not gonna go and run O Trail, but you're
no,
gonna go and run Hornet's Nest
no.
and
But
or
then
Yellow
again,
Jacket.
there's also go arounds for O
Nest.
Trail.
All right,
There's
Hornet's Nest is a trail, I believe, at AOP. There's so many fucking parks bouncing around upstairs that my brain's not working.
and to clarify, the reason why Roush has that kind of wow factor is because at O Trail there's a really cool black that goes around it. There's a really decent greenish blue that goes around it. So no matter what, I can find something that I will have fun doing while you guys are doing the dumb shit. So that's what entices me to want to go back to Roush and to continue to go back to Roush is because the leveling up process, if you will, at Roush is right there. It's right in front of you. You can see what you can like you can visualize what you're aspiring for, and I think that's what helps me want to commit more to wheeling is stuff like that. Not just the Johnson Valley is cool. I can go do 100 miles an hour in the whoops. Oh, that rock. Yeah, of course there's rocks that are 40 feet tall. Sure, I want to climb it one day. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I get that.
So just climb. No aspiring. Just do.
And like at some point in time, right? If I were to put stickies on my rig, that's gonna make my rig far more capable. But suddenly, Roush is a lot cooler to go to. AOP is cooler to go to. Windrock loses cool factor.
Why is
and
that?
like, because Windrock has a couple of hard trails, but the park is so spread out that honestly, you're gonna have a better time in your rig than I would have in my rig
At Windrock?
at Windrock.
Huh. But
Um,
but in the circumstances of trying to chase 1 ton 40-inch tire rigs down though, because that's something you have to consider too. Is like I'm not
at
friends with
that
a bunch of 31.
circumstance, your rig is still honestly, in my opinion, of Windrock.
But
From
then perfect.
everyone
I
I've
just need a
talked
cage and
to.
I'll be mint.
Yeah.
Oh, done. Well, that's good that I'm already aspiring for that. Perfect.
And like maybe a set of honestly, if you were to throw a set of chromoly shafts front and rear in your rig and then go build a buggy, you would probably see the point of best return.
And that's kind of what I've come down to, honestly.
You know, like I've got sentimental value and I'm chasing buggy status, but I'm never gonna touch it. No matter how far I go until I hit Curtis territory or further, I'm not gonna touch it. You know.
That's true. That's very true.
And, tying it back in, I like Kyle's rig because Kyle's rig is cool as fuck, but it's not a buggy and he's not trying to have it be a buggy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I already feel like I've gone past where I should have with this. Unibodies are stupid.
Yes.
Unibodies are stupid. I mean, I like mine. It's my favorite vehicle I've ever owned, but it's stupid. The whole fucking thing is stupid, and I love it.
Why do we even do this? What's the point? This comes
Masochism.
back to the simulation thing.
It's what we are
Need to drive
programmed
over
to do.
rocks that we don't need to drive over.
Yeah, there's really no point to anything we're doing. You could walk up that rock.
Yeah, but who wants to do that? That's lame. Give me a
You don't have
motor
to
and
go there at
tires.
all.
Yeah, you're right.
You own trailers, tow rigs.
You don't need any of that shit. Just sit at home.
That's
So-
true. We could all be like sitting around eating sushi or something, but no, we'd rather go play in the fucking woods.
I feel like we're getting a little close to the end of this episode, so I gotta ask, going back to the turbo, and I had to throw that in there, Cody. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, I know.
Why turbo over LS?
Or
Um,
stroker.
Yeah,
I saw a
or
lot of
stroker.
people.
You stroker, you brought her. Sorry.
I've seen some headaches involved with the LS stuff. Just initial cost. No, it's
Mhm.
not so. You could slap a stock manifold and stuff on this, and it would be perfect right now if it needed to be.
Mhm.
With an LS, it would be, I've pulled the engine. This has to work. Otherwise, it's
A waste of $7,000.
working.
Yeah.
I don't have $7,000 in it. That's for sure. Came across a manifold and just kind of decided it would be fun to mess around with, learn things about turbos.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's right. Half the fun of these. That's like kind of what makes it worth it, at least in my opinion, is, you just kind of, it's like a test bench. That's what I tell people. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's not a pretty rig. I wanted to put 1 tons under something, so I put it under this thing. I wanted to
Would've
learn how
been
to do
cool
tube
under it.
work, so I built tube around my Jeep. Like, it's just sort of the platform that gets all the junk, and then I learn how to do it, and then
Hmm.
everything I do from that point on is better. It
You
gets the
know,
worst of
and
everything.
I appreciate the fact that you're not going the cookie cutter path. I think that's kind of cool. I liked it with the gruesome twosomes rig. I like the LS path, but one of those like weird off the shelf ideas I had is I really like the EOTech 2.0 and 2.2 motors, I think they are.
Yeah, the Chevys.
Yeah, I saw one guy, I forget, I think it might be the Ars Fab test rig. I don't know off the top of my head, but old dude from, or not old, he's probably our age if I'm being honest, but he's been on Pirate forever. Action Fab.
Did you just
Uh,
call us old?
I feel like he did, and I feel like it is a pretty accurate description of how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
um, but long story short, he put a supercharged, I think it was 2.0 Ecotech out of I think it was a Pontiac into his XJ with an AX15. And it's kind of cool because he's hitting like 250 horsepower out of that EOTech, but the engine weighs 300 pounds compared to the almost 600 for a 4 liter.
Wow.
So he's making more power and he shaved 300 pounds. That's fucking cool in my mind.
Does it
Shaving
make
some weight would be nice.
does it make cool rev limiter noises though?
I don't know. I just know that my Jeep makes a lot of sad rev limiter noises and I'm here for it.
I'm going to YouTube right now, Graham. I will get you this information.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
We need to know.
But I like those kind of swaps. Like I talked with Kyle before and I brought up I found some guy that used a Trailblazer 4.2 liter and he swapped it into a Supra with a fucking massive ass turbo on it. And that shit also is really cool because it's like taking an LS, making a straight six, and, abusing it. That stuff's off the shelf and just kind of interesting to me. I don't want to be the test idiot, though.
Well, that's
Are you
sorta-
so good at being that?
where's
I would
your
rather be the test idiot on a standard thing. Like, at least, like, if I put an LS in my rig, I can tell you all the things I fucked up on. And there's someone that might have an answer.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's benefits to both.
LS
is
is a
definitely-
tight fit.
Yeah.
It is a tight fit, but it's been done enough times that you can go and you can buy 2 eBay manifold sets, and someone's found the fucking Y pipe that will mate 2 different random LS manifolds together. You know what I mean? Compared to like trying to shove in a 2.2 Ecotech with a supercharger, you're not going to get that answer. Or,
Okay.
um,
I've come back with my answer. Sounds like dog shit.
Oh no.
Solid Honda dog shit.
Oh
Now with the
no.
turbo, maybe that might change. But as of like a 2.2 Ecotech out of a Cavalier with no anything, sounds like shit.
that's why you
Picture
put the
guy-
supercharger on it to actually make some power out of it.
I can just picture
And-
some random dude with his stock Supra or whatever it is, Pontiac, just rev limitering it for
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes, that's exactly what I just had to listen to twice because the first guy said Ecotech 2.2 no muffler rev limiter, and that motherfucker made me sit through like about a minute and a half of no fucking rev limiter. So fuck that guy. I was really hoping for a solid like 1.5 minutes, just like like something cool. Nah, nothing. Useless.
All right, so yeah,
Um,
scrap that idea. No Ecotech.
No, it was just cool because
Yeah,
of the rig
I
that
get
it
what you're
went
saying.
into.
Yeah.
Like he built a shaved Dana 30 and a shaved Dana 44 on 35 stickies with 10-inch coilovers. it's totally like not your cookie cutter way of doing it. Um, and like that's what I dig about his turbo setup. It's cool. It's not normal. I still think it's fucking stupid because it's on a 4 liter, but
Well, we're not here to
mean-
critique him, all right? Give him a break, jeez.
Everything done to this is stupid.
I know, but like it's a 4 liter. They're garbage fucking engines.
Well, no, they like boost though, from what I understand.
And their
People seem to
manifolds,
make some pretty reasonable power out of them.
From
Yeah,
what
that's I
I'm-
heard.
the things I have researched though, if you do not like port and polish the heads and like port out the intakes, you're limited to how much airflow you can actually get before it just gets choked out. So that's something that you have to consider.
That's what the turbo's for, to push more through.
Well, that's the problem though. There's only so much surface area on the inside that can be filled with
you know,
air. Like,
Aerodynamics, yeah.
yeah, crazy how F1
Yeah.
cars work and shit, right?
Yeah, I don't.
And
wouldn't
it's
know.
also like a tractor motor from the 50s.
This is true.
So is
Yeah,
the 12 valves, and turbo seem to work pretty good on those. So why can't they work for 4 liters?
Because they made the hole bigger on the 12 valve.
And we'll see how it goes. Can always undo it and go back
Yeah.
to having a stock 4.0.
I'm super excited for it, and you know, I hope to see the video on Walt's Crawlers of you sending a rod to God.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be likely rod goes right through the block.
Ooh, that could be another T-shirt. So after our first one, we could have one that just says "Send the God to Rod" or "Send the Rod to God." Sorry, oh boy, and then it's just like a rod shooting into outer space. That'd be kind of cool.
I feel like that's been done, but we could
It
put a
definitely has
special like
been.
blue collar spin on it.
Oh, I thought we came up with that. I don't know. Maybe self-consciously.
No, that's just a Lukeism that, you probably picked up from somewhere, and it's here.
Yeah.
Tagline it.
Stuff just shows up in my brain, and I don't remember where it came from.
All right. And on that note, I think we're
Yeah,
we're
I'd
wrapping
say
this up here. Any
Yeah.
any last questions or comments? Anybody?
No, just thank you for coming on, Kyle. Please don't put any holes in drywall.
Oh my god.
Too late for
I
that.
wanted to make that joke first scene in the fucking episode, but I didn't think it was appropriate.
what am
How
I
am I
missing
supposed to
here?
start my day?
You at least have a Monster Energy sticker on the Jeep somewhere, or do I need to bring one out there?
I have
Don't.
big ones. I have okay. So my dad used to work for a Kawasaki dealership. So we have a massive decal, like a monster decal that I have sitting in my room that's rolled up that I think would be perfect to just right on the hood.
Right on the
Oh, no.
windshield.
But I think I'll have to bring an extra hood because I think this is one of those decals that's like never supposed to come back off. So I'll have to give you a new hood.
No, just put it on the windshield.
It already
It'll be fine.
probably needs a new hood. I'm pretty bad at cutting.
Why were you
Excellent.
cutting your hood? Oh, was it dub nose?
Clearance.
Wastegate dump and hood fan.
Oh, cool. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, clearance. See, I wasn't wrong.
Throw a fan in the hood if you're having cooling problems. That's
Yeah,
the
that
right way to
fixes
fix things.
Well,
So-
alrighty. Thank you guys for listening. Kyle, give us the social medias that we can follow you on.
Walt's
Kyle
Crawlers.
Rayden and
And,
Waltz Crawlers.
So Kyle Rayden, Waltz Crawlers. Make sure you guys go show him some love. Thank you guys for listening. And Graham,
Oh, I have to do this? Okay. Keep your monster stickers massive and
Just like the holes in the drywall.
and have a good night.